Welcome to a new video, and today I'm gonna talk about the 7th SS Volunteer Mountain Division Prinz Eugen. The 7th SS Volunteer Mountain Division Prinz Eugen, or the SS-Freiwilligen Gebirgs-Division Prinz Eugen, initially named the SS-Volunteer Division Prinz Eugen, was a German mountain infantry division of the Waffen-SS during World War II. It served only in occupied Yugoslavia, formed in 1941 from both Germans and Volksdeutsche, ethnic German volunteers, and conscriptions from Banat, independent state of Croatia, Hungary and Romania. The division fought a bloody counter-insurgency campaign against communist-led Yugoslavian partisan resistance forces in German-occupied territories of Serbia and Montenegro, as well as elsewhere in Yugoslavia. After initially a rush of Volksdeutsche to join voluntarily, establishment tapered off, and the new formation did not reach division size. Therefore, in August 1941, the SS discarded the voluntary approach and, after favorable judgments from the SS court in Belgrade, imposed a mandatory military obligation on alle Volksdeutsche in Banat. In 1942, the Pančevo-based unit was declared a mountain division. Its troops were issued with significant amount of non-standard German weapons. They used mostly captured equipment such as Czechoslovakian machine guns like the ZB-53 and French light tanks. They were provided with excellent German main mountain artillery such as the 10.5 cm Gebirgshowitzer 40 howitzer and the 7.5 cm Gebirgsgeschütz 36 mountain gun. When the division was formed, it was assigned to the Balkans as anti-partisan mountain division. In early October 1942, the division was deployed in the southwest of Serbia. On October 5, 1942, Phillips ordered to the Germans and Bulgarian forces to destroy the enemy. An attack was planned. 20,000 well-armed and fully trained troops would encircle the 1,500 Serb guerrillas from 4 directions. Because of the decisive importance of this operation, and observed for the first military operations of the newly established SS division, Himmler himself traveled to Kraljevo in the German-occupied zone. Himmler was in Kraljevo from 15 to 18 October 1942 and toured the division. German and Bulgarian forces began their attack on the Chetnik territory at dawn on 12 October 1942, proceeding from 4 directions. However, Kasharovich orders his unit to regroup into smaller squads for easy maneuvering and penetration, and the Rasina Corps was able to escape from the Axis ring entrapment. The division's first major action thus ended in a failure, as the German and Bulgarians cleared the Chetnik Free Territory and in the process committing war crimes against Serbian civilian population. Yet the Chetniks themselves had successfully withdrawn beyond the reach of the occupation forces. The Prinz Eugen was next involved in a counter-insurgency attack on the Serbian-Montenegro border in the mountains of the East River Ibar. Afterwards, the division took part in 4th anti-partisan offensive in Croatia, Zagreb, Karlovia area, where together with Italian forces attempted to defeat Yugoslav Partisan commanded by Josip Broz Tito. The operation failed and most of the partisans managed to evade the main attack. In Operation Weiss-Ein, the division advanced from Karlovac area against the Yugoslav National Liberation Army. Resistance on January 29 captured informal partisans' capital Bihać. In Operation Weiss-II, it forced its way from western Bosnia to Mostar area in Herzegovina and also deployed its units northwest of Sarajevo. From 15 May to 15 June, the Prinz Eugen took part in a 5th anti-partisan offensive, Operation Zwarts, aiming to pin Tito's main forces, about 20,000 partisans, against the Selagrona mountain in southeastern Bosnia. During the battle, the division received the task to move through Italian occupation zone in order to block the possible advance of the partisans towards the Adriatic Sea and the Italian-occupied Albania, to close the southeast part of the encirclement, and then advanced over the mountains terrain to crush the partisan forces. In 11-day fighting from May the 20th, the division captured Savnik. For success, Sturmbannführer Dietsche as well as Commander Plebs both received 2 Knight Crosses for the division. In the following days, the focal point of the battle shifted westward. After the main group of the partisans headed by the 1st Proletarian Division broke out of the encirclement, 2 battalions of the division that were moved to cover the left bank of the Studenka River and block the partisans' escape route were the surprise attack by 3 battalions of the North 1st Dalmatic Strike Brigade, and 1 from the 5th Montenegro Brigade at Cieszynce pushed them back. They recovered their position during a night battle and decimated the partisan units. In Operation Swartz, the division suffered a total loss of 613 men. In August 1943, the division became part of the 15th Mountain Corps and was sent to the Dalmatian coast to disarm the Italian forces in September 1943, after the Italian government had surrendered to the Allies. In exploiting the Italian capitulation, Tito's forces succeeded in seizing control of the most part of the Dalmatian coast. In 16 days long battle, the division pushed back the North unit and in September 29 reoccupied Split. In October, the division participated in Operation Landsturm, another anti-partisan operation in Omisploše and Biokovo. The battles for Split and Biokovo coastline, the Prinz Eugen suffered losses of 1,582 killed, wounded and missing in action. The division was reorganized on 22 October 1943 and was renamed the 7th SS-Volunteer Mountain Division Prinz Eugen. In November, the unit was attached to the 5th SS Mountain Corps and took part in the anti-partisan operations Kugelblitz and Schiensturm in Dalmatia during the next month. In January 1944, the division was involved in more anti-partisan actions during Operation Waldsrauch. It then took part in 7th anti-partisan offensive, which began on 25 May 1944. This operation had the task of killing or capturing Tito, and the operation was spearheaded by the 500th SS-Freiwilligen Battalion and supported by the Brandenburg Regiment. In this time span, many other ethnic groups joined the division, such as ethnic Croats, ethnic Hungarians and over 1,000 ethnic Serbs, who volunteered for the division at General Phelps' office. Most of them who were ideology or otherwise motivated to fight against the partisans. In September, the Soviet Red Army had advanced into the Balkans, and the division suffered heavy casualties in defensive battles against the combined Bulgarian, Soviet and North forces in the Niš region. 21 September, Obergruppenführer Arthur Phelps, the division first commander, was believed to have been killed in the route from Montenegro to Transylvania. The division's next action was to defend Kraslevo bridgehead against the Soviet-led Belgrade offensive as part of the 34th Army Corps, Army Corps Müller. This defense was essentially for the success of Army Group E efforts to open a corridor which would allow the retreat of 350,000 German soldiers from Greece at the Aegean Regency. In January 1945, the division was in action against Yugoslav army at Otok and Vukovar in Croatia. In February, it took part in Operation Werwolf against the Yugoslav bridgehead at the Virovitica area. The withdrawal from Bosnia towards Austria continued as Prince Eugen retreated through Croatia on April 1945. On 10 May, the division moved to Šalce in Slovenia. There it surrendered to the Yugoslav army on the 11th May, 3 days after the capitulation of Germany, and marked the official end of World War II in Europe. All personnel of the Prince Eugen taken prisoner by the Yugoslav army were killed, although this was against the order of Tito. In 2010, a large mass grave containing the remains of 2,000 Prince Eugen soldiers was opened near the Slovenian village of Brežice. The soldiers has been stripped naked, bound together with telephone wire, and shot, their bodies buried in a trench in summary mass execution on 22 May of 1945. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you did, and I hope to see you in the next video.